We recap NC State and University of Miami, the fresh segment of the week, looking ahead to Louisville, and we talk recruiting a little bit. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the JWILLY Show. I am your host, Mark Jerome, alongside the young, handsome-looking Jason Williford.
I had to shave. The beard was getting out of control, Mark. I groomed the goatee a little bit. How you doing?
I'm good. Well, it looks really good. What did Carmina say about it?
Yeah, she's happy. She's just mad that I gained some of this weight back. She's telling me I gotta get back to my weight loss plan.
You
I
have
told her that's the stress of the season. It's the stress of the season.
Yep. And I know about stress eating very well.
Well, it's stress eating and stress drinking of the Pepsi and Mountain Dew, all of the soda that I'm intaking.
We got to have some kind of bet or arrangement where you're going to at least cut the sugar out and the soda.
It's too good. Ice cold Mountain Dew while I'm breaking down film keeps me going.
I'm telling you, you'll be surprised that water will be a great substitute.
I know.
You can do it. And maybe just like a sip here and there of Gatorade.
But that's the problem. So like when I started this journey, right, during quarantine, I was good. And then I went to my cheat day on Saturday. And cheat Saturday became cheat Sunday and Saturday. So it became cheat weekend. And then it became get Cold Stone once during the week. So I was getting Cold Stone, cheating on Saturday, cheating on Sunday. And then once we got back in the full swing of things, it was soda, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I know. It's
carbonated,
bad.
Right? The amount of grams of sugar, do you look at that when you look at Mountain Dew?
So I did this, so probably 8 years ago, Doc McKnight, who's a team doc, he tells me, Jay, your levels are bad, we gotta, what are you doing? I said, Doc, I'm probably drinking a 2 liter of soda a day.
What?
And he said, you gotta be kidding me. I said, so he demonstrated what it was like to just drink one of those 12-ounce cans.
Mm-hmm.
And he took a spoon and he just poured sugar on the table. And he just kept going. And it was like, he said, it's 14 of these just in that can. And I couldn't stop. I'm so addicted to the freaking sugar and caffeine. It's unbelievable. But it's the reason why I gained weight. I know what it is. I've just got to be better.
How much did you originally lose?
40.
Where'd you start?
From April of last year until probably August, September, I lost 40.
Wow.
But then I've put 20 back on since the season started. So
it's not easy, right?
Huh?
It's hard to stay so disciplined. Are you working out along with watching what you eat?
Was I?
Mm-hmm.
I was. I'm not anymore.
Are you? I said, are you? So I guess you answered that.
Was I? Yeah, I was. Yeah. I was on the bike. Now that the weather's changing, I was walking. I walked for an hour every day. I was going to the track and walking laps. But I hadn't done that since winter.
Well, April's, right next door.
It's coming. I got to get back. I felt so much better too. Like I slept better. I felt better. My knees and back, it all went hand in hand.
Right. And the season's going to be over in another month or so. A little bit more than a month.
I can't believe it, but yeah.
Right.
It's been a grind.
What's that?
I say it's been a grind. The season,
tough season. Yeah, has to be.
To get to where we are, kudos to the guys and everybody for being just mentally tough to get through all of this. But yeah, it's been a grind.
Yeah, no, and you guys have, did you think that you would get through it the way you have at the start?
I didn't know what to expect. There was no blueprint for this. There's nothing to like fall back on. And so we were just happy to first start practice when we were starting, and then you kind of just hold your breath, you know, after every test. All right, did everybody pass? Are we able to play this game? And you've just been kind of just operating that way.
Right, right. And now you have one game remaining. It's unbelievable that you guys have made it this far and have done so well. Right. And
no, the guys, to their credit, they tried to do everything we've asked. And I know it's not the norm.
Yep.
For young college kids to kind of not hang around other college folk and go out and socialize, and they've been really good about that. So
yeah, no, I know. I'm so impressed that everything's held together so tightly. But we've talked about in the past cultures of other teams and other programs, and I'm hearing stories that teams are really starting to suffer and they're starting to break down. And I think it starts at the top, right? It starts with the coaching staff. It starts with former guys, and the torch is passed down to younger guys, and the cycle just continues when it's positive and when it's negative. And I've spoken to some coaches, I've spoken to some kids from other teams.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough, but I think yes, it starts with us and Tone and our administration, you know, setting the guidelines and what we need to do in order to make the season be a success. But to those guys' credit, I think the player leadership, like Sam has been vocal, Jay's been vocal. Those guys have kind of, the onus is on them to lead, and they led by example.
So it's a good question, right? As we start moving to the subject towards NC State, there's been a lot of questions about, is there a leader on this team? Who's leading? Are they emotionally leading? Are they vocally leading? Because there's a lot of fans, and we've talked about it on the last, the last post-game show, or the last two post games show, I think, that the team seems to be playing without so much energy. And this doesn't seem to be a rah-rah. And some of I think it was Chris Havlicek and Dougie Smith, who of course will be on shortly, talking about that, where that energy level comes from. And for some people, I think, and everybody's different. Everybody has different personalities, right? And for some people, it can come from the fans, right? Some people, it comes from wherever they extract it from. But my point was, not everybody has that personality, that rah-rah personality. And maybe, perhaps, and this is a question for you, this could be a team where it just turns out that you guys have more reserved personalities and characters on this team.
Yeah,
right? By random.
I think that's the case, Mark. I think leadership comes in many forms. There's the rah-rah you talked about. That was me as a player. I needed that. I needed to, you know, I had to get myself going and get the team going. I made stuff up. Like, you know, this dude was talking trash. Well, come on, guys, don't let him talk trash. Or, you know, you pick a fight like you're pushing and shoving, but you know, that was me. But I think we've got some guys that naturally just lead by example. They kind of they go about their business, and they're not necessarily the most vocal. And I think when they do speak, it's more powerful, but they do it, you know, they do it in the locker room, or they do it, you know, back at the dorm. It's not in your face. Mm-hmm. And it's just like you said. I think that's their nature. That's a lot of guys on this team. That's their nature. But I think, like I said, I think Jay and Sam both, from a leadership standpoint, have tried to be up front and lead this group. And listen, when you don't have that rah-rah guy, sometimes it has to be the staff, and you got to get them going. And let's call it for what it is. This year has been totally different, and without that JPJ crowd to get you going, and you know, rooting you on when you look a little lethargic and sluggish at times. It's been tough, and we've tried to generate that from the bench, but it's not nearly the same as what we're accustomed to.
Yeah, sure. All right, let's look at NC State for a moment, or for a couple moments. First home loss of the season, right? Second consecutive home loss to NC State, going back a year. Last year, you guys lost to them, right? A tough game. Sammy, good game. Jay Huff, really good game. Didn't shoot it great from three, but still made his presence felt.
Yeah, tough start to that game. I didn't think we defended particularly well. If I'm not mistaken, I looked up at the scoreboard and they were shooting 60 from the field and 60 from three at one point in the first half. And you're playing catch up. I thought their guards did a good, Cam Hayes, the freshman, and what's the other kid?
Shaquille Moore.
Shaquille Moore,
Yeah,
the lefty guard. They did a good job. They touched the paint. They got easy
Hold on a
buckets.
second. Hold on. You get a bell for touch the paint.
Why?
That's the way we roll. Paint touches, touch the paint. Dougie gets it, you got to get it.
Well, they were in the paint, daggone it. And Cam Hayes made some threes. And then I thought their big guy, Funderburk, kind of just took it at us. Tough matchup, because he was on the perimeter. He kind of drove catches and, posted hard off some of the ball screen stuff. So it was a tough night. We got back in the game, but we shouldn't have to start games and expend that kind of energy trying to catch up, especially at home. It was a little disappointing for us to come out so flat the way we did.
What was the scouting report going into that game? Were you guys worried about Jericho Helms a lot? And was he the key?
Well, yeah, because the game there, he hurt us. I mean, and we knew they were gonna try to go inside with Bates and Funderburk, and so we knew that they were physical. The guards were good, but we also knew that we were going to be behind the clock because of their full court pressure, denial, making you work, and then in the half court you'd have a shorter clock, and so we needed to get into stuff quicker. They switched. They took a page out of Duke's playbook in regards to the switching, and so we were still trying to find our way with all of the switching, and it was a rough night. No excuses, but I thought their young guards took it at our guards. We didn't shoot it well from the perimeter. We didn't defend them well enough. One
of the things I saw also was interior defense, right? Was tough in that game.
They put us in a little bit of a pickle because it was, do you post trap every time? Then they had something for the post trap. They did a little something different against the post trap, and they were skipping it out and either making threes or driving catches and making it tough on us in regards to that. So, at times we had to leave guys in there one-on-one, and we tend to like to trap and get it out of their hands. But if you get posted so deep, there's not a whole lot you can do, even if the trap was coming. So
yeah,
they had a good game plan.
They did. I can't remember a game. I can't remember one. Maybe it happened recently that I just forgot about, where either off the bounce, which meaning off the dribble, or the bigs getting low post position.
Where we struggle with both, right?
Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah.
And if you do that, your odds aren't good at winning those games.
I think in the second half, there were, I don't know if it was 3 consecutive possessions where the guards got in the paint and just made plays.
Could have been. And I don't know if we had time. If we didn't have time that game,
Did not.
correct? Yeah. So, you know, with some of our struggles defensively, you know, conversely, being able to have another shooter on the floor, spread the floor, maybe you get something easy yourself. You know, we missed him. It was, you know, he comes in. I know we're not talking about Miami yet, but he comes in that game and boom, comes off a wide curl, makes his first shot. You know, it was good to see that.
Absolutely. I'm going to ask you this. Can we get an update with Reese with terms of why won't he put the ball up? Why won't he shoot it? We've talked about it a few times, and
Yeah,
it's like, are you guys still at the position where you guys are still taking that position where you're still saying, Reese, shoot the ball, shoot the ball, shoot the ball. I'll give you a prime example. We were looking at, we started making these videos, short, quick clips, and is talking about them and sharing them. We just started 2 nights ago, last night or whatever it was. And there's a play when I was looking at the Miami game, Kihei comes off a pick and roll with, I think it was Poppy. Poppy dives and then hits the weak side with Reese lifting up, and Reese is wide open. I don't think the guy's within 7 to 10 feet of him. And I mean, he's so talented that he can still drive to the basket in the ACC as a first year and make a reverse layup, which is remarkable. But he had a wide open shot. And if you guys get to the next level, if you get to the field of 32 or the Sweet 16, he's gonna have to shoot that.
and I think he will, but he's got the green light. I mean, we're not telling him not to shoot it. I mean, it's just I think he's got to feel comfortable. He's got to let a few go, but he can get to the rim, and he's so unselfish that he's always looking to get. You know, he wants to get Sam another touch or Jay another touch. But I mean, as much as you know, at times he needs to take and let it fly. I think Kihei's got to do the same thing. I mean, I think he's passed up a few where, you know, he could let it go.
And by the way, Reese took 2 threes in that game against NC State and was 1 for 5. And I'm glad he hit that shot. I think he hit the shot at the buzzer going into halftime, or not the buzzer.
Pull up, right? The mid range. Yeah.
Would love to see him do that more. And Kihei, the last couple of games, especially the last game against Miami, it's like he's not even looking at the basket right now.
Right.
So I'm looking for him to fix that, because both of them are so talented. Reese is, just special, and both of them are such great on-ball defenders.
I thought Reese, again, I know I'm jumping ahead, but I thought he did a heck of a job on Isaiah Wong, who had come into the game scoring at will, and I thought Reese was there, contested. I thought his length bothered him in that game.
So let's move ahead to Miami. Tomas is available and comes off, like you said, early in the game, hits the 3. You guys, but he didn't play a ton of minutes, but I think he ended up playing about 15 minutes. You guys experienced with quite a few different lineups. Was that the game plan going in, or were you just trying to find something that fit where you could get going?
Well, we talked about being better defensively after losing 3 straight. Or was it 4 straight? 3 straight. I don't know how many.
3 straight.
And so effort, energy, physicality, we were looking for that. And I thought, we were trading buckets. We were going back and forth early. And I thought when we put Justin and Poppy in the game, made a huge difference. And those guys got us second chance points. They were posting deep and getting fouled, and they were screening hard. Like it looked different. And it's no secret. Coach at halftime, he challenged. He challenged Jay, challenged Kihei. They didn't start the second half. We started in that particular game. We started. We rewarded those guys who were giving us that effort, and we challenged those guys to, hey, we need that. You played too many games, got too much experience. Going down the stretch, this is how we've got to play from here on out. And I thought in the second half they responded to that. But I thought we got a huge lift from those two in particular. And I thought defensively, coach made a point to challenge our perimeter guys to get into the ball, slide, contest, just stay in front and make guys shoot contested shots. And I thought Reese did a very good job of that. And I thought Trey Murphy did it. I thought Trey was active with his hands and his length, got some deflections, came back to rebound the ball. So from a defensive standpoint, I thought we took a step in the right direction, especially in the second half.
Trey Murphy, while we're on the subject of him, 5 shots against NC State. What was it about Miami where he felt more comfortable, where he got going and was able to take more shots?
I think it was, we need him. And I think he looked in the mirror and said, I got to be able to help and do more than just catch and shoot. Where'd I go?
He ended up taking 9 shots against. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. So I just think he's got to. Now I thought in that game he came out of great. His first play, and I get on him all the time. I tell him he's never seen a 3-pointer he doesn't like. He shoots the 3 whenever he gets a look at it. But his first shot was a shot fake drive, left hand. He drove, tried. I don't know if he finished it, but he was aggressive going to the rim. And I thought that set the tone for him the rest of the evening.
Yeah. Took 9 shots, hit 3, but he was very aggressive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the 3-point shot is funny. But he, in the NC State game, I think he took up 1 or 2, or had 1 or 2 that were in and out.
Oh, yeah. If he gets a look, we don't have to tell him not to shoot now. He is shooting it. If he can get, as long as it touches the hand and he can do, it's gone. I mean, he is shooting it. And I tease all the guys. I'm in practice, the managers are on the side, or a couple of the green machine guys, and I can see it coming. They throw a skip, or he'll screen and separate. I'm like, if they give it to him, it's going up, and they all start laughing. I say, he's shooting it. So I love his confidence.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he should. I mean, he's shooting at a high clip.
Going back to Casey and Kihei, who guarded Isaiah, held him to, I think, 8 points, I believe. If memory serves me correctly.
He put a lot of different guys on them. But that team, I mean, they got some talent, man. Those dudes can create and get their own shots. Our thing was just stay in front, be in gaps, stay in front, try to contest shots. And we knew they were more guard oriented.
Yeah, right. And that's, with that being the case for Miami on the pregame show, I thought you guys would do a good job on him. I thought he would have a hard time. Ended up going 3 for 10. I don't know if you remember, and I don't remember if it was you or Ronnie Sanchez. I watched him. I went to a game where he was playing in high school. I think it was the Catholic school championship or semifinals, right? It's played on the University of Penn campus. And I can't remember who it was. And we were talking about him back then. Mm-hmm. And he was a good player. I didn't know he was a good player.
He's a good player.
He's playing.
I'm sure he played with We Are One, AAU, right?
I don't know where they played. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I know he played at, I got to check with my homeboy Lance Payton, who was at whatever school with Lynn Greer. I can't think of it right now, but I want to say he was at Norman Goretti.
No, I don't think it was
Isaiah Wong.
It wasn't Goretti. I can't remember. Yeah. It wasn't Goretti or Archbishop Wood. It's gonna come to me.
Chime in a minute. I'll get Lance chime in and we'll get back to you. That might be him now. No, Roman Catholic. He played in the chip versus Roman Catholic, and that's where my buddy Lance coached from. I'll find Lance will text me what school Isaiah Wong went to. But good job. What was the glaring difference between NC State, like for you to look when you look at film? Was it the low post play? Was it the defense? Was the outside shooting?
Yeah, I thought I thought the difference was we defended better. We made it tougher. We contested, and we still had that started the second half. We got great looks, and we just couldn't in the Miami game. We missed some good looks, and they cut the lead. I thought we were settling for jumpers at times. Some got throw it into the post. Got Sam go post, Jay go post. When the jumpers aren't going, let's touch the paint. I know you're going to give me another ring, a ding, but let's throw it inside. Let's get fouled. Let's get to the free throw line. Let's drive it. We tend to at times just fall in love with the 3-pointer. And I thought we mixed it up offensively a little bit where we did. We went inside. We got stuff easier against Miami, and we defended better. We just didn't defend well. And then late, we were fouling and trying to press a little bit and get back in that state game, but we were never right defensively in that one.
All right, let's talk about concerns because you lost 3 in a row. You beat a depleted Miami team. You don't blow them out, but you beat them. Not in the prettiest game. Go through a couple of lulls, scoring lulls, right? I think in the beginning and for the first 8 minutes, you guys scored 4 or 5 points. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember making the comment to the guys and talking about it. Are you concerned going into Louisville and going into the ACC tournament?
You always want to be efficient, and from an offensive standpoint, you can just all you can ask is, are we getting quality looks? Now, we got to make them. We got to step up and make those. But are we getting quality looks? Are we doing what we need to do? And I thought we did that. I thought we took a step in the right direction against Miami. So, the concerns, and rightfully so, are can we handle all of the switching that those teams that beat us have done? Can we make adjustments and be more efficient and take advantage of the switching? And then on the defensive side, just be as hard to score against as we can. And I, quite honestly, I think we made some strides. I know, numbers don't bear out as far as, what other teams have done that we've had over the years. But I think Trey Murphy's getting better. I think Reese is getting better. And hopefully you can, use some, I love what Justin McCoy gave us, from his effort. If those guys are giving us something, I kind of like where we're moving. Still, get Tom to get his sea legs and get back and shake some of that rust off. So, I like where we're headed.
Okay.
But I've watched a ton of games, not just us. It's everybody. Unless you're freaking Gonzaga.
Yeah, Baylor,
Illinois, they look good. God, they look good the other night.
West Virginia, Baylor, that game was insane.
Heck of a game in Illinois. What they were able to do the other night without Io. Good gracious.
Yeah, who's a very good player. All right, before we go into fresh segment of the week, let's just go right ahead to Louisville. Right, Louisville is likely in a national championship contender. I don't know about national championship contender, but they're going to make the tournament, right? Unless maybe they lose their next game to you guys and lose first round of the ACC tournament. Maybe they'll be up in the air, but I think they're likely in. How many teams? First of all, how many teams get in the ACC, get in the tournament, national tournament?
I don't know. I'm glad we'll be one of them. Let's just keep moving in the right direction for us. I don't know. I leave that to the Joe Lenardis of the world.
All right. Well, both of you guys should be in, right? I know we're getting in. Louisville will probably get in. What's the game plan going into Louisville? Who's the guy we got to stop? And what are the key?
Well, they once again guard oriented team. Carlik Jones playing at a high level. I mean, that kid could be. I mean, it's unprecedented what he's been able to do from Radford to the ACC. But you're talking about a guy that potentially player of the year in our league. Should be first team all ACC. He's really good. And then David Johnson is good. So those two guards, and then Withers, the big kid, freshman, who I think sat out, if I'm not mistaken, Jalen was redshirted last year and, having a good year on the interior for them. But it starts with those two guards. Can Kihei and Reese, can they make it uncomfortable for those two? But you got to keep them in front. You got to deal with ball screens, and it's their senior night, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna want to go out the right way. But half court defense, contain the guards, rebound the ball, and see if we can score a little bit on the other end.
Yep, that kid Carlik Jones is really tough. I'm excited actually to see how well Reese and Kihei do against him. That should be fun to watch.
Oh, he's good. He's good.
I watched him play a couple of times, and he's an older senior, right, compared to Reese, who's a young pup.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a ton of experience. I mean, if the dude crushed Coach McKay's hopes one year when he was at Radford. I mean, he hits a dagger on them when at Liberty to go to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a competitor, big time competitor, and he's now doing it in our league. So.
Yep, and that's been a great place for UVA.
Hey, it's funny because I saw the other day, it was like the anniversary of Dre's shot or something, right? However many years ago that was. And I still can't believe you know how much had to go right for us to win that game?
I literally just watched the last 15 seconds. And it's like, and it takes like 7 minutes. I'm like, why does 15 seconds take 7 minutes? I'm watching, I'm like, oh yeah.
It was crazy. It was crazy, but the NCAA tournament being there, Kihei's pass, like all of that stuff. Yeah, we got good memories in there, but it's their senior day. The boys better be right going in there on Saturday, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can, it's not as going to give everybody a heart attack, but we still pull it out and win it. Right.
It wouldn't be a Virginia game if we didn't keep you on your toes, and
those last 3 games.
Cardiac,
we all know.
Kids.
Yeah, nail biters. All right, let's do this. Let's bring in, who, Big Dougie Fresh, who's got. Hopefully, he doesn't have 1 A through Z.
And he was good last time, though.
He was. He's always good. Dougie's always great. Let's welcome him with. Let's give Dougie's intro. Because
we're
what are the chances?
I can't get in. I'm in.
We rung the bell. We know you're going to curse.
Of course. Jay, me and Dougie, you back in the day. Come on, boy.
Dougie.
I'm 22-year-old Fresh now with JWILLY 17-year-old. So that's, it's tough for me to get out of.
Dougie, I have a few bets.
All right.
That you are not going to curse. That I don't have to ring the bell because of a curse.
Okay. I won't do it.
Hey, Fresh, I got to tell this story, Mark.
Yep.
So, my mom and dad came up the other day. They just need to get away from Richmond. They came up, dropped some stuff off for the boys, went to Wayside to get some chicken on the way back home. And she gave me a photo from senior day. you, me, Big Ted
Yep.
at the banquet. I mean, at the end of the year banquet.
Your day, not mine.
No, yours.
Oh, mine. Mine's.
Yep. End of the year banquet.
Yep.
I'm a second year. You and Ted are graduating.
Yeah.
And she gave me a note that you wrote to mom and pops thanking them, because I guess they had given, like, they used to always give the seniors cards, like when they graduated.
Of course, man. We talked about that.
And it was a thank you letter from Fresh, and she gave it. I gotta find it. It's downstairs somewhere.
How was my writing? Script?
Hey, the handwriting was impeccable. It was
impeccable, right?
Yeah.
That's what we did, man. That's what made
that
it all.
That letter was dated.
Great.
When was it? It was
93, like, right?
April something, 93. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, man.
Crazy, right?
That's crazy. That's what it's all about. First of all, I'm upset at you guys. You guys are picking on Reese a little bit. I don't like it. Y'all were talking
sure.
A little bit.
How did you discover that we're picking on Reese out of our conversation?
You guys were talking about something Reese did and didn't do, whatever. Leave him alone. That's my guy.
I wasn't picking on Reese.
A little bit. We'll go back. We'll go to the film. That's not the point. So I'm trying to do a recruiting question. But it's like, remember we used to play horse and we had like a 3-part shot, like off the backboard, catch it, turn around.
That's like the bird magic video.
Yeah.
Right?
So
off the raft.
So Jay, I've never thought about this so much until I've been involved, and it's very interesting now. You know, I just assumed that, like, when they recruited a big time point guard out of Fayetteville, Tennessee, like me, everybody was so worried I'd go to Arkansas State, but I didn't. I came to Virginia. Can you give a brief, like, thing about the you guys' process? Ding me, Marky, the process. But a brief thing, like how you guys set it up for the fans, right? That's why you have a show, because you have fans.
Like,
well, we talk about 2020, 21, 22, 23.
And what do you want me to talk about in regards to the recruiting? Like what, like process?
I'm not going to say anything that rhymes with Neil's. I'm just saying in terms of like, how do you guys look at it? You know, like, is it just luck? You see a kid is good. You're on the AAU circuit.
No. So
a little bit like that. So
how do we
right?
find them? Is what you're asking?
Recruiting. You do it, not me.
Well, I mean, obviously we look for a certain character. We're not going to take a shortcut on character. We want good character in the program.
Yep.
But then, obviously, you got to be able to play at this level. And Tony loves completeness, especially in his guards. Got to be able to do a little bit of everything: dribble, pass, shoot, defend. You know, all of that. Good feel for the game. And then, just guys, and we often see guys that you can lose with first, that you can go through adversity. And that's all. That sometimes that's hard. That's harder than some of the other stuff. You know, how's this guy when it gets tough?
Yep.
You know, what's his work ethic like? Those are the things that you kind of you try to dig at and vet really hard. But you know, we'll recruit wherever. We'll go all over the country.
All over the world, by the way.
We'll go all over the world.
Yeah.
But it takes a kid that's gonna be selfless and give sometimes of himself for the betterment of the team.
Yep.
And that's, in this day and age, that's a tough thing, because you know it's microwave. It's quickest way to the NBA, quickest way to let me get mine. But I often think, if we win and you're a part of that, and you're contributing to a very successful winning program, everybody looks good. And it's not just one guy, it's a bunch of guys.
All right, so a tougher question. So I've always traded stocks, right? Stock
Mm-hmm.
market, and there's percentages. If this stock goes up 10%, the chances of this, whatever. So you're in a different situation now, right? Like the transfer portal, which you've dealt with, and it's no secret, guys transferred in, transferred out. You guys have dealt with it. You've won from it, maybe you lost from it. I don't know. But this year is different because it's a free year. Do you guys have to actively sign a percent chance that somebody might leave or somebody might come? How do you deal with that as a staff? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think
The question?
that's a good question, Fresh. I think you deal with those issues um, at the appropriate time, and
Yep.
um,
Not
most
ongoing.
of that most of that will happen at the end of the season.
Right.
You reassess where your roster is, um, you know, who's in, unfortunately who may be out. We hope we got everybody back,
Of
but
course.
you just don't know. And then if you got to dip into that transfer market, you go and you vet as best possible guys that fit what we're about. We've been fortunate, I think, with some of the transfers we've been able to bring in.
No, for sure.
And but I think with that rule, I I'm not sure they understand what they potentially are opening up. At least on the basketball side, it's going to be it's going to be a free market of dudes poaching and getting guys. I mean, Mark, it's going to be crazy. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
in the
That's what I'm thinking about on the outside. Like, you know, I mean, think about us, right? Everybody has a percent transfer. Like, I wanted to transfer one time. You probably wanted to. Corey probably tried to 7 times. I'm kidding.
no way.
It's like, you know, so none of us did, thankfully. Well, two of us did, right? Corey Stewart, I should say. So it's interesting. I just wondered if it goes into you guys' thought process of with your team and other
Yeah, I
teams,
think I think
how
the
you
way
think about it.
it transfers over the last 6 years,
Yep.
it's maybe longer than that. It's become more of a trend. Guys are they transfer, um, and so you expect the worst, and um, if you don't get anybody to leave, that's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you want guys that are 2 feet in, and you want guys that are about the program. And
Right.
sometimes, I mean, guys they want bigger roles, and um, we've had guys leave and go on and do well at other places. So you know, kids and their families have to do what's right for them, but you have to prepare yourself and be open to everything.
Right. And you're still I know you, but are you still stubborn enough? Like you're all Virginia. If you're out, you're out, or you're still my guy? Because you know them since they're like 15 now, right?
No,
No, seriously.
I I'm probably hey, I'm all Virginia, but
Yep.
the mature coach in me wishes them well, and they're guys that I've stayed in touch with, and they called and just checked in,
Yep.
and because they're relationships. You have a kid for 2-3 years, there's a relationship there. But I tend to be a little,
Loyal.
hey, I'm all orange
Jeff
and
Jones.
yeah, I'm all orange and blue.
That's right.
How many questions are you in?
That's like 4 right now.
No, I'm like 2. This is we're playing horse. I have
What'd
a
you say?
4
Wait,
part,
wait,
part
wait, wait.
shot.
What'd you say? You said 2. Jay Will said 4.
He's he's younger. I'm older. I'm smarter. He's like only he's smarter now. I forgot my next question. I had a good one. Damn.
Do you want me to remind you of what you sent
Damn's not
earlier?
bad. That's
The
not
one
bad.
about Jeff Jones, you mean?
No,
Okay.
it was. Oh,
What
totally lost
about
my train of
JJ?
thought.
That's my man.
Yeah, of course. But JJ's the loyalest guy. But if you don't stay with JJ, good night, right? You're not invited to the summer cookout.
JJ's from the old school.
Oh yeah, for sure. He should be, and stay with it. Oh, so I watched David Kane.
The
Is that
voice.
right, Marky? The voice.
The voice.
Great
Yes.
voice. So he
Hey,
had.
is that a thing? So let me ask you guys: is that something that they learn in comms in school to talk with that voice? Because Dave
Oh, yeah,
sounds
they
like
train
every
it.
other radio guy I've heard throughout the country.
Yeah, they train.
You train yourself to speak that way. Absolutely.
The voice. I often
Only Jay Willie has a natural smooth.
I said, Dave, I want to know, I want to hear your go home, talk to the wife voice. Like,
Right.
What is that? There's no way you're talking to her the same way you're doing the play-by-play.
What'd he say?
He goes right into it. Well, you know, Jay, that's the voice.
So Jay Willie, in my job, like Brazilians, so I speak fluent Portuguese, whatever, and Brazilians speak Portuguese. They sound real. When they speak English, they sound like Michael Jackson. It doesn't translate. Like, so you have a deep voice in Portuguese, all smooth, and then like their English voice is MJ Jackson. So
one more.
All right, my bad. So David Kane had Tony Bennett on his show, and he said, TB, which past player, UVA, that you have never coached, would you like to coach? Marky, who's your guess? Who he said? No, who's you guys' guess? That's my question.
A really good question.
It was a great question. I was going to ask Jay Willie the same thing, but I can't bite. I'm not like that.
What? Ooh,
I love when you bring back the 80s lingo.
Oh, man.
Because I don't know how many viewers know what that means. I can't bite. I mean, I think they can figure it out because we got a very intelligent, sophisticated audience.
So Dave asked Tone, what former player would he have loved to coach?
It's a very easy answer, and the answer is not right. So Coach Bennett said Ralph Sampson, obvious, but I'm going to take him out. It's very easy.
Because Dougie's saying it's very easy.
Yep.
And he talks about this guy like he talks about his.
You're out, Marky. Jay Willie, talk.
I'm out because I'm right.
Ooh.
I'm wrong.
Oh, you're actually wrong. You're actually wrong here.
Oh.
Yep.
Junior Burrow.
No, that's your answer. Think about it.
Jason Williford.
He said me?
He said he would love to have coached you, but that's not his answer. He did.
I was going to say that can't be.
No, he would love to have coached you, but not his answer. Who's around the team all the time and talks like they're the best player ever?
Oh, Corey.
It was funny.
Hey, I'm not sure he could coach me or Corey.
He had a hard enough time with Justin Anderson.
First of all, Tone would have loved my toughness.
Oh yeah.
But I couldn't shoot to save my life, so I wouldn't have played for him.
Well, hold on a second. Let's back that up a minute.
Nah, I don't. I disagree, Jay.
There are lots of guys who have played.
I have one more question.
At your position that could not shoot.
Just hear me out. He would not have liked the fact that I shooting wasn't my strength, but he would have liked everything else. He could not coach Corey. Corey would have drove him nuts.
Yeah, but that's. Yeah.
So who's the player that he's coached that drove him crazy, more crazy than anybody else?
Justin. Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, probably Justin. But it was. Yeah, probably Justin.
You know, our 1-year anniversary is coming up pretty soon, and on the show, that's what you said, that Justin was.
But Justin
at
gave
times
everybody.
hard to-
Like he was okay. Tone, he was good with Tone, but he gave me a headache more than anybody.
Why?
Well, you remember. I'm
Because
going by
I
what
was like
Tone
his
said.
sounding board.
Yeah, but I saw you the one practice I came years ago in the summertime. My kids were in camp, and you were working him out, and I was like, Jay, who's that dude?
Yeah,
And
I
it
had
seemed
to
like
keep
you
him
had control.
sane.
Yeah, but that's what happens sometimes when you're close with somebody.
I
Yeah.
had to try to keep him sane.
All right, Dougie, you
But
can
he
stay
was
on
a
for
good-
this. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jay Wills.
He was a good kid. He was a good kid. He just, you had to let Justin be Justin at times. Like he couldn't close out and keep guys in front, right? When he first got here.
Right.
But he
Catch
would
up.
let you beat him
Catch up.
and then he just block it.
Cornell. Tutu.
Like, beat me to the rim. I'm coming from behind you. And if you don't dunk this,
Right.
I'm blocking it up against the backboard. Like, or I'm making you change your shot. Like it was frustrating because Justin, just keep the guy in front.
It's easier.
Easier for me to do.
It's easier.
So you're saying he's much smarter off the court, because I know Justin and he's a great kid and he's a really, really, really bright kid too.
Oh, he's a bright kid.
Really smart.
In his mind, it was like, you know what, this is hard. Just close out, chop your feet. Don't let him shoot the three. Don't let him drive. So I'm just going to let him beat me, and I'm going to go block it. I figured it out.
That's not necessarily a bad strategy, because there's no way you can close out on a good offensive player. You can't stop a good offensive player.
Well,
Now you can. I disagree.
you can do both.
No, you can't stop him. It's not like pitcher
There's no way.
versus a
Like
batter.
and having conversations with Ty, talking about doing closeout
Oh, okay.
drills.
Right.
Now that's a different animal he's dealing with.
What's that famous drill you guys have that Ty talks about? Threes?
The three line closeout.
Yeah, what is that?
Those dudes hate that.
What is it?
It's impossible to stop.
They hate it. It's a guy it's the coach under the basket.
Yep.
Three dudes with their foot in the paint.
Yep.
On defense.
Wing, top. Coach throws the ball to either spot, both either wing or the top, and you close out and you got a guard.
Yeah, that's far. I get it.
So the guy, except everybody's has one foot in the paint.
Everybody.
The middle guy, where does he stand?
At the ACC.
Okay.
It's a tough drill.
And that's what I'm telling you. You can't stop a good offensive player. So that means that person. Imagine trying to guard Kyle Guy who's going to get that pass from the coach.
Hey, so listen, freshman year, first year, nobody can do it.
No chance.
The sophomores, the second years, they got a leg up because they've been through the ropes. The juniors, the older, the third and fourth years, those dudes, they get it. Your freshman year, you got no shot.
Oh.
I don't care who you are. Joe Harris couldn't put his hands up and chop his feet at the same time. It was the funny. We did this drill at the end of a practice one day. We just pulled Joe aside. We said, Joe, just close out 3 feet, chop your feet, and put your hands up over your head. His hands would go like he couldn't throw them up.
Right.
We did this for 5 minutes at the end of practice. I laughed so hard.
And next thing you know,
Joe got better.
He
He got better as the year went on.
I tell you, I came up in that, Jay. My coach who passed away, by the way, yesterday, my high school coach, he taught us that. I know, it's all good. We did that every day in practice.
Hey, these dudes,
that's crazy.
First year, man, they can't chop their feet, take away the shot, not get beat. It's the funniest thing. And we're barking at, we're yelling at, and we know they got no shot. We know they got no shot. Ask Ty about Ty and Kyle.
You mean their first year?
That drill.
Yeah, no, I know. But my question, I mean, can you imagine if you have to guard, the ball's being thrown out to one like Kyle Guy, right, standing at 3-point line, and you have to have 1 foot in the paint and 1 foot out, and you have to stop him from catching and shooting? Or Justin Anderson, who's shot faking and going to the basket, is going to dunk it on you?
But that's why there should be help, though, if you get beat.
Yeah. But if it's, I mean, just when you think about that drill,
it's why we've been good over the years, Mark. It's why we've been good.
I get it. And when you think about the level of talent with the ball in his hands.
Hey, them dudes, hey, listen, so when they come back in town, right? They come back in town and they're watching summer practice or whatever we're doing, summer workouts, or in the early fall. And we're like, come on, guys, jump in. Dudes, they want no part. Like, but they'll jump in like if we want them to you know, be offense and go live. But like, I'm like, oh, right. get in this closeout drill. Nah, they don't want no part.
It was too hard.
I'm glad you brought that up. By the way, if someone comes over to help, it's an easy kick, right? To a really good player. So I'm not pick your poison.
Scramble and we try to figure it out.
Right, which is almost impossible. I don't care if you're first, second, or third year. I mean, maybe you have a better chance at third year and fourth year. There's too many great offensive players on that team. So I remember being down on, I think it was the unofficial visit, Ty's first unofficial visit, and I'm watching Justin Anderson go at it with like, I don't know who.
Marielle, it's probably Justin, Marielle, Malcolm.
Guys were, I don't know. No, you know what? It wasn't an official visit. I think it was either official visit, because Justin Anderson was there and he was playing one-on-one ones with like Devin. There was like 4 guys going at it. And I was like, oh my God, my poor child. My poor child. He's got no shot to play here. We're in the wrong place. Let's go.
Those dudes were strong.
They were so strong.
Right,
Their bodies were insane and they were so athletic. I still can see Justin Anderson in that drill and like be unstoppable. And Dev is like trying to stop him.
So was it Dev, Justin, was Malcolm still there?
No, Malcolm wasn't there.
It would have been London?
At that point.
London
was there. I mean, it was just incredible talent.
Yeah.
Incredible talent. All right, so who was of course, T-Dubs sent us a message to ask this question, our wonderful producer. Who was the best at this drill?
Who was the best ever to close out drill?
Yeah, London.
No, none of them. I hear. You will never take a guess.
Hold
on. Take a guess.
In terms of fundamentals or actually stopping somebody?
That could actually and could guard anybody.
Grant Kersey.
So what?
Devin.
Dre.
Oh, T-Dubs got it.
So my first answer was Dre. My second one was going to be Akil
Mitchell.
Really?
Mitchell.
A full closeout, like running to the 3?
Akil Mitchell could close out, chop his feet, but his wingspan took away shots. And he could do this on guards. It didn't matter. Anybody. He was the best at it.
How did Braxton?
And then he sat down.
Yeah.
How was Braxton?
Who?
Braxton Key.
Slow.
He was okay. He got shifted at times. Akil could square you up, take away the shot, slide. Like, he was unbelievable.
Mamadi
might be a close second.
Really?
Yeah. Those dudes that had that wingspan could get there, and those two could guard. They could guard 1 through 4, 1 through 5 in that. Dre sucked his first year.
You remember we had 3-on-2, 2-on-1?
No, it was all 3-on-3. It's all 3-on-3.
Right.
Dre closed out and he just turned like the dude be right by.
There's too much space you have to carry to cover.
It's a lot. There's a secret to it. You got to figure it out.
You got to cheat.
Got to cheat it.
You got to cheat it. Devin's
I would have sucked at it. I would have sucked.
Yeah, you've been
I'd have
terrible with
given
that.
up so
For
many
sure.
rhythm jump shots.
Look who's joining us.
JWILLY.
What up? What up, fellas?
What's up? Did you have your show tonight?
Who are them?
Oh no, I'm at an undisclosed location this evening. No show.
Right.
DJYB. I don't think the people have seen you with the
Yeah, I'm just that's my disguise, man. I got many different disguises, but I'm Clark Kent tonight.
Before we say goodbye to everybody, we have to hello to YB and goodbye. Jay Wills, I got to ask you a little bit about recruiting. Right, so we got hit up on Twitter. A fan said that they love the show, but they're very curious about the challenges of recruiting and about how competing in recruiting and how are we doing with it.
Now,
overall.
if
So
they
not
are,
naming any names.
if they are fans of the show, they know that I can't go into specifics about recruiting.
Not naming names.
Yeah.
But what are the challenges and who's the competition and how does it work?
Yeah, everybody's a competition. You know, we're going up against the who's who. COVID's been different, obviously. Can't see anybody in person. Can't have kids on visits. That's been challenging. So you're doing a lot of recruiting by video, which for me is extremely hard because I like to be there in person, see them live, see what the athleticism, see what the size, true size is, see kind of what the competition they're playing against, to be quite honest, the level of competition. So it's been a challenge, but it's a challenge for everybody. So we're all in the same boat, and you know, hopefully sooner rather than later we're through this and we're out watching kids play in gyms again. And my hope, I don't think it'll be April, but my hope is hopefully by July that they allow us out.
Well, I think they said the live period can't be open until June, right?
Well, yeah,
extended beyond May.
There's an extended dead period through May.
Right.
But I'm hoping there's nothing been decided about when we're going to be able to go out and when kids can even come on grounds. The issue that presents is, you know, let's say you want to bring a kid in, you know, you can't do it. It's just tough, you know, for visits and that type of thing.
So what?
And those are tough decisions for families that have to make.
So without seeing a kid live, do you have to go on the word of other people?
You're going on words of coaches that you trust, you know, relationships that you built over the years through high school coaches, AAU coaches, scout evaluators, guys that you think are reputable. And then you got to trust what you see on video and make that judgment, make that call.
Right.
Mark, can I have one more question?
Hold on, Dougie. Hold on.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
So, threw me off for a second. When you are trusting somebody else, right, and you can't see them live, they could be playing against competition that's not at the highest level.
That's 100% right, Mark. Like you just don't know what they're going against. Now, you know, if you're fortunate, you know some kid, like you see, okay, he's going against this kid who's being recruited by so and so. Like you can see that, but a lot of the times you just don't know. You don't know the level. At least in this year in particular, you don't know.
Right. Or Dougie, you can answer this. You can help answer this question if you want, Dougie, because Jay Wills might not have the answer. Okay. How is it that when you're battling up against Duke and you guys are going for some of the same kids, Florida State? Is everybody fighting for the same kids? Is Duke fighting for the same kids you guys do? Is Villanova fighting for the same kids you guys do? Or are there different, some kids different? And what makes you want to recruit a kid like that where Duke doesn't? Or what makes Duke recruit a kid that you guys don't, and Villanova or other schools like that?
Yeah,
My question? Oh, sorry.
No, we tend to not necessarily go up against Duke, the Blue Bloods, Kentucky's of the world. but we tend to go up against Villanova and, you know, other schools in our league, Notre Dame, quite, you know, some of the light academic schools. But for us, it's just a matter of the kid. Like if we like a kid and the talent dictates that we want to recruit them and the character and all that stuff matches up, you know, sometimes it may be a Carolina, or Duke, or some of those schools involved, Louisville. You just gotta go toe to toe with them. You gotta put on your gloves and you gotta lace them up tight, and you gotta get ready to box a little bit. And hopefully we can win a few of those.
All right, so last question about the recruiting. What is it that you may have said to somebody, like let's take Dre, for example, right? And I know you were the main guy recruiting Dre, as far as I understand. What was it that you said that won him over?
I said, it was what Tony said once I got him.
What was it that you guys said? What was it that you guys said as a staff that maybe Villanova didn't offer him, or that you guys convinced him to come to UVA that Villanova couldn't do? And I know if I said this, I said, what would Duke say to somebody, right? Versus to get them,
Escalade.
If you guys recruit them, then I would say Dougie's going to answer that one.
Escalade.
Dougie said escalate.
I'm not sure. Like with Dre, I'm not sure. I don't know if what we said was different, or they just didn't. You know, I don't know what other schools say, or you know why they didn't. I know what was attractive was the totality of what we offered. The academics. Mom was she wanted a good academic school. He wanted to play at the highest level. He wanted a chance to play, wanted to be a perimeter player. And so, you know, I think ultimately that's what got him here. He got along, like on his visit, and you guys, he got along with Ty and Kyle and Jay on the visit.
I'm just going to correct you on one thing. Ty and Dre didn't like each other initially.
Well, Dre didn't like Ty. He thought he was a little full of himself, the typical New Yorker he is. But I think
that's more true.
I think, you know, they had more in common than not. Like they talked about the pact that they had. Like, we're gonna win us a championship. Like we want to do it together. And you know, they did it. They ultimately did it. But I thought, you know, the opportunity, you gotta have an opportunity for the kid to play. And I think what we offer, like I said, the total package and the foundation we had laid, it was right. He felt it right.
All right, Dougie, you're on.
All right. Dougie Fresh, you're on. No, like, so Jay, you're like, I can't imagine a better recruiter and assistant coach to be a head coach, maybe in Boston or somewhere else, than you. Are there any guys, and I saw you at the AAU tournament, and you know everybody and the whole thing, and that's what you guys do. Is there any assistant coach, recruiter who you look up to in terms of like, man, this dude is good, without offering escalades and houses and jobs?
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
There are guys, and I don't know what you're trying to insinuate, Doug, in regards to escalades and all of that.
Don't do it, Jay.
But there are guys that are head coaches, obviously, that I look up to, that were in my position just a few years ago, that I still had the utmost respect and talk to. And there are guys that I don't know if I respect their grind. You know, like I know when you go up against certain dudes, you gotta have your A game. Mm-hmm. And so I do respect that. I don't know if I look up to them, but I respect that they make me have to bring my A game. And I know that they put in the work. Without naming anybody, but they're guys throughout the country that you see what they do, and you see the level talent that they bring in,
Yep.
and it makes you have to work that much harder.
Yeah, you don't want to name those guys gay. Jay, we ain't trying to send nobody to nobody else program. We ain't gonna big up them like that on here. But yeah, there's guys. He just said it, I'm sure. And likewise, I'm sure they respect him and know they got to bring their A game too when he's in the picture.
Hey, this is my agent speaking.
I was just gonna say, thank you, lawyer Esquire. Dougie, all right. I want to first of all.
Hey, fellas, I gotta be out. I'm down to 2%. Let me say bye to everybody now.
YB, hopefully we'll see you on Tuesday, next Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah. And for those checking the show, this YB Wednesday will actually be moved to Friday, old school night, 7 o'clock. Whenever. Yeah, so 7 o'clock.
Old
Twitch
school R&B.
/DYB. All right. I'm out, fellas. Y'all stay up.
All right, Y.
YB, enjoy yourself.
All right, man.
All right, my homeboy Lance sent it in. Bonner Prendy is where Isaiah Wong went to. He did play for We Are One AAU program.
Monsignor Bonner is where he went to school.
Yep.
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 All
Right, Dougie, I want to congratulate you.
He got through.
I was trying to come with a big one, and I
don't do it. Don't do it, Dougie.
I won't.
Listen,
I won't.
Danny Alter and I made a bet.
He's gonna be disgusted.
Danny Alter and I made a bet. Actually, we did make a bet that he's aware of. I'm going to tell him we did, and hopefully he did. He thought we did for a dinner.
All right, I'm in.
Yep, and he's going to.
He owes us.
What?
Does he owe us?
He does now.
I go. He pays. All right, we're done.
Exactly.
That's easy.
All right. Congrats.
All right. Love you guys.
Hey, I got a question for you two before we roll.
Yep.
Favorite place in the best restaurant in the city?
New York City?
Yep. Best Italian spot?
Carmine's. Marky is gonna like dunk on me and disagree. Carmine's.
Serious? Not even close. If you want to go with 25 people or 10 people and you want to have like family style meals,
I'm gonna tell you why.
It's so loud.
Carmine's.
It's fun. The food is not.
Upper West Side, way Upper West Side by you. So the reason I say this, NIT, remember JWILLY? We won.
Mm-hmm.
And John Havlicek, the great, he took my family and his family up there. And so it's more of a memory for me.
But Carmine, I was gonna say Carmine's fresh. That's everybody does Carmine.
Nope. Okay, nope. You do the Broadway part.
No, so
Upper West.
Here's the thing, Jay Wills. Dougie's from Nashville, Tennessee, by way of Illinois. Fayetteville, sorry. My family's from Nashville. Fayetteville, Tennessee, by way of Illinois.
Yep.
Right? Carmine's is like 10 blocks up from where I grew up.
Yep.
Right? We didn't really go to Carmine's.
Of course not.
Well, give me yours, Mark. What's your best Italian?
So there's my favorite place in the city is Italian. It's one of the high-end places, very high-end places, right? But there are a ton of really good Italian spots, small ones, little ones. There's a place, as a matter of fact, I was walking in the beginning of the pandemic, walking downtown. There's a place called Carbone in Tribeca or
Uppity. JWILLY, this is uppity.
Crazy, ridiculously good. Crazy. They actually opened up, I think they just opened up one in either, I think they have one in Vegas or I think they opened one up in Miami.
There's so many there's so many good restaurants.
I mean, Carbone is so good, but I mean, there's so many. I mean, it's very expensive.
Uppity,
I'll send you a list. I'll send you my list. And you can
go. Echo La, Upper East Side, when me and Timmy Cons and Brian Cash were roommates. Used to go there. Echo La, Upper East Side.
The Upper East Side is very homogenous. I don't really go there. So.
It's horrible. I get it.
But more importantly, why are you asking?
I'm just asking. You guys are up that way. You know.
So all of us, you could have asked about anything else. You could have said, "Oh, in New York."
No, I was still. We'll be out of the pandemic. I'm a little hungry, so you know.
Yeah.
Italian food in New York City. You were very specific.
There's got to be.
I love it. I love it too.
How's your family's in New York?
There's got to be hundreds of those. Tomorrow.
You said Italian food as if you're interested in Italian food in New York City because you're making a trip?
No, I'm just saying, like sooner or
No,
later,
he wants to know the Boston restaurant.
I'm gonna be on the road again. I just and I was a little hungry, so it just popped in my head. I'm sorry.
Yo, Jay Will,
And by the way, Dougie lives in New Jersey.
But he's in the city all the time.
Yeah. But I'm out of the city. I make something called, my kids call it the famous, o famoso, the famous pasta I make. Jay Will,
Big
we're
time.
homeboys. Oh, I do it right. Pasta bolognese, I make it good. I ain't trying to pay nobody. We'll pay ourselves.
I ain't trying to pay nobody. All right. Jay Wills, another awesome show. Thank you very much. I appreciate
The best.
Good to see you guys.
Oh my God. By the way, I just realized Little Italy in the Bronx.
Oh yeah.
Unreal. Best truffle pasta I can still taste it. I was in Italy. I was in a couple of different cities in Italy.
Little Italy is the name of it?
No, the Little Italy is a section in the Bronx.
I was gonna say that's a section in the Bronx, right?
Yes, right. And they have one in Manhattan too.
Okay.
But there's a couple of places. There's a place called Roberto's in Little Italy in the Bronx.
Yeah, there's got to be hundreds in New York City.
There's so many.
Rayo's, right? Rayo's?
Rayo's is down the street from me. So Rayo's
Yeah.
was an old Italian mob spot.
Yeah, of course.
See, look,
And it was
I got
like
you guys started.
nestled.
I got you guys started on this food thing.
Oh yeah, no. But this
Oh,
is
Jay's hungry. Me too, yo.
in East Harlem, right? And back in the day, East Harlem was really diverse, and you had Italians and black folks.
Yep.
Just different Latinos and different white folks. And then Rayo's, as the neighborhood changed, right, to more black and Hispanic, Rayo's remained there.
Yep.
So it sits across the street from a school called Manhattan Center, which is a massive school, right, which is all black and Hispanic, 90%, 95% of it. But Rayo's is still there. And you see fancy cars and very affluent people coming from all over the place.
Yeah.
Jersey, Long Island, the city. And you own a table there.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't get in there.
You can give
unless
it to your
you know
friend.
somebody, right?
Yes, but you can rent it out to somebody, but literally you own it. And there's been some mob hits back in the, it's got a ton of history.
Wow.
Yeah, right down the street from me. Anyway, we could go on and on about this.
It's not Charlottesville, Jay Will.
Charlottesville got good restaurants. I love Charlottesville restaurants.
Hey, Charlottesville is a sneaky good food town.
No, I know.
Don't forget that.
By the way, I'll give Jay Willie credit. Every time he gives me no gear. Everything I'm wearing now, this I bought. Anytime I'm with Jay Willie, I've never paid for a meal.
Thank you.
Really?
Somebody else may have paid for it, but I ain't paid for it when I'm with Jay Willie. Nah, Jay Willie hooks me up, man. He all his guys. We have lunch together, talk shit.
There it is.
Do the whole thing.
We could not do it.
Nah, there's no reason to, right?
Dougie, you were saying, yeah, there was.
That's a good word.
No,
Right.
I just, now I'm taking Danny out to dinner. You're buying.
All right. Can't wait.
All right.
Next week.
Well,
see you guys.
Good luck on Saturday.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah, keep doing it,
Talk
Jay.
to you on Tuesday.
All right.
Best of luck in the last game of the season.
Thank you.